For as long as I've been collecting, and believe me, I've been collecting for a long time. I come across many different things, including a alien Pikachu hybrid, Five Nights at Freddy's plushies, and even a kazoo shaped like a horn. And also, random pieces and parts. A lot of times collectors just see these random parts and just think nothing of them and just throw them away. But sometimes if you look hard enough and all the pieces you think might be junk can actually still be used. And sometimes if you just put in the patience and the work into it, you can actually get all these pieces together. You can actually put together a whole figure. And today, I want to tell a story of how I did just that. With this big fella right here. For those that don't know what this is the very first Masterpiece Transformers Optimus Prime. It comes from the line called Masterpiece that's been produced by Hasbro and Takara, and this is the very first one ever made. That's right, this was the very first Masterpiece ever made. The Masterpiece line consists of very high quality Transformers figures that come in very different shapes and sizes, from like cartoon accurate C or even very movie accurate sculpts. They're made from die-cast metal and high quality plastic. And design wise, like I said, they're made with some cartoon accuracy and very fluent transformations that are very clean and put together. That's a lot of Transformers collectors would consider these some of the best Transformers figures you can get. And also, they're pretty much bigger than standard size figures. Overall, that's the Masterpiece line and everything to it. And as you can see, these guys were pretty cool figures. However, there was a time when this guy was just nothing but this. That's right, for most of the time I had this, it was just a head. No body, no guns, no feet, no box, no nothing. Just this head. And the amount of time to get this guy from here to all this, I wanted to tell everybody about. Mostly because I want people to know that if you put your heart and mind into something hard enough, you can achieve almost anything. And also never give up on something you love or are passionate about. Because if you keep going, you can do almost anything. So sit back and relax and enjoy the story. So I guess I gotta start from the very beginning. I was staying at my sister's house at the time, helping her with the kids and a bunch of other stuff while her husband was out on duty. At the time, my collection was pretty small, and I definitely did not have as much as I do now. I let my sister introduce me to something that I saw, but I never thought about getting on. And that was Facebook groups. And also online services where you can pay online, like PayPal. That opened the door for me to collect a lot more things and buy a lot more stuff online. And needless to say, my family somewhat regrets it. But with discovering Facebook groups, I also discovered Facebook online auctions. It was a members only auction, and when I went on there, this small lot came up. The lot consisted of many small toys, variety size and pieces. Some pieces included this little bat from Van Helsing, E.T. figure, this 1990s Dinobot tail, and this. That's right, this head. At the time, I didn't know where it came from or what figure it was for, but I just thought of it as a small random piece I could add to the collection and figure out later. So I threw it in and I won this and a bunch of other toys that I forget what that was in it. When it got here, what baffled me was actually the size. As you can see from the Dinobot tail next to it, it was a lot bigger than I thought, and definitely bigger than a standard figurehead. At the time I thought it was cool, but I didn't think much else of it, and I actually moved on to other toys. Actually, more specifically, this tail. As you can see, the tail is pretty much complete with sword and everything, and that got me an idea of maybe I can actually complete a figure with this. Because I actually knew some Dinobots were actually missing a tail. That's when I went on a journey through these Facebook groups. Put out there that I had this tail I was looking for a figure. At first, a lot of people thought I was weird for suggesting anything. I mean, I could see it as kind of weird that I'm just looking for a figure to go with the tail, but I was determined that I could do it and find it. And after a few days of being listed online and me just going through groups and groups hoping to find it, I actually did manage to find one. It was amazing. It was pure luck. It had good paint, and the only other thing missing was like the helmet that would go on the head, but I didn't care because it was in good shape, and the only thing missing was the tail, which I had. As soon as I got here, I got the box and I got the tail, and I immediately put it together and And ta-da! I had a near complete 90s Dinobot. I think I turned out amazing. When we put the tail and sword on him, he looks even cooler. But what about the head? When it came to the head here, I didn't do much with it. I went back onto my Facebook groups and I went on Transformer groups specifically. And I put this guy up asking where did this guy come from, and it was possible to put it back together. And after a few minutes of being on Facebook, I got the answer. It was this guy. Optimus Prime, or mp-01 masterpiece Optimus Prime. When I heard it was part for a masterpiece, I was like, what? So then I just started thinking, maybe I can put this guy together. And I immediately dropped it, went to my computer and started looking up where I could possibly find this guy and parts for him. When I began looking up, I was a little discouraged. Parts I could find, but a lot of them were very high priced. And also as I was beginning to search, I started to find out that masterpiece Transformers actually go for quite a lot. And that kind of discouraged me from looking online for body parts. So I went back to Facebook and started asking around on there. And nothing really ever came up the first try. And nothing really ever came up back then. So I started becoming less concerned with doing it right away, and I just took the head, put it in a small box, and just forgot about it for a while. There were times where I took it back out and started looking for it again, but it's all the same happened for quite a while. So I just put it back in about my day, and I forgot about it again for many years. During that time, I moved a few times, and some people, and even got some volunteer job, and in that whole time, that's what the head was all this time. It wasn't until I moved into my current house that I started thinking. I decided maybe I should give it one more try. I required a lot more stuff and even a few very good holy grails. So I thought maybe my luck would change a bit and I would find something. So I put it back, got the head out, put a picture back on Facebook, and actually, somebody sent me a link on eBay for an auction, and it was this. It's a full body that's almost complete with box and guns. And I thought, wow, this was amazing. And also, it wasn't that expensive. The original price was about $60, but I was able to send a message to the seller, and I told him that I had a head that could go to the body, and he accepted it for about $30 plus shipping. And I couldn't believe it. I was surprised. I was just actually gonna get it. It cost a lot, and I felt pretty. Oh my god! After paying that much, but I figured I could make it up for it a little later, and this was like a chance that probably wouldn't happen for a very long time again. So I just waited, and after a few days, here it is. MP-01 body with packaging and 2 guns. I forgot to mention that the head came from the MP-01, but not just the MP-01. 20th anniversary MP-01 that came out commemorating the 20th anniversary of the first Transformers. It came out all the way back in the 80s. So then I realized I don't only have just the head and the body for it. I have the box and the guns and pretty much all the accessories. So not only did I just get a body, but I basically got almost complete one in box. So I immediately got the head out of the box, put it on, and voila, together at last. Now that I had it in hand and it was all together, I was like, whoa. Oh my god! Wow! This guy came out way better than I thought he did. The paint, the articulation, the sculpt, everything just popped in a way I never saw before. I never owned any masterpieces before, so I didn't know what to expect when getting this guy. After getting him, I can see why so many people like them. Articulation is great, the paint is great, sculpt is great, nice and solid. And again, they're big boys. I can see why they're desirable, but with my budget, all I can ever do is one day. But after a while getting him, I actually noticed something. Now, because when I first got him, he didn't have a foot actually. At first, it wasn't a big deal with him without it, but then I realized he couldn't really stand with just 1 foot. So, after getting lucky with this, I was back on Facebook groups and put a post on. And again, I got lucky. I found this person on Facebook, and he turns out he had a bunch of pieces. Extra gun, axe, and an extra foot. I got excited and I made it ask how much it was. It was a little bit expensive. By the time I figured I got this far, and it wasn't that as expensive as the figure itself, so I went with it. But when my family found out I paid that much for just a tiny foot, it was like... Yeah, and later it kicked me out of the house. But eventually we talked it out and everything was fine after that. But now I had basically a complete mp-01 with box and extra accessories, and I couldn't be happier. When I first put him up here, I didn't know where I was going to put him, but then I eventually found a good spot and he just pops there. And wish I could say now that this guy is actually one of my holy grails in my collection. Like I said, after seeing prices of masterpieces, I never thought I owned one. But now that I have this one, but not just him, with the box, from just having the head of this guy to completing him with box, I must have a leprechaun right next to me. So, what should I do now? At the end for this guy? Can I move on and collect something else? Actually, no. When I said this guy's nearly complete, I mean he is still missing some parts. His other foot that it comes with is actually missing a piston piece. I'll let him give the effect of a moving piston when he moves his feet. He's missing the back head cover that would cover his head when transformed. And he's missing the chest piece that would hold the matrix, but all those parts I can find later. I'm just really happy to finally have this guy in my collection now, and not just have a head anymore. If you guys have a piece you look for your collection, and even if you just have like a small head of it, and you're feeling discouraged that you might never find the rest of it, don't give up. If you put a time and effort to anything, especially with collecting, you can find what you're looking for, and even complete things that may seem impossible. I mean, look at me. I'm a bigger guy with not a lot of money, and I still managed to find my grail pieces. So just like saying that goes, if anyone can do it, so can you. And don't give up on anything that may seem too hard. Remember, with hard work and dedication, anything is possible. So that's it for this guy, but the story continues with my other guys. Optimus here is not the only one I'm gonna try to put back together 100%. I have this black Wargreymon in my childhood gold Wargreymon Digibobble figure that I would like to try to put back together too. So if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and if you want to see more stories like this, let me know in the comments and subscribe down below, so I always know when I'm making new videos and you never miss another crazy story with me, because I actually have another story coming up that well involves another grail toy, and yeah, it's insane and kind of stupid at the same time. Well, until then, this is Robert saying thank you for watching, and we are out. Can I be the leader now? No. Can I be the leader now? No. Can I be the leader now? I said no. I'm sorry. Hey, Megatron. What? I have you guys surrounded. Surrender now or face the consequences. You hear that, boys? The soccer ball is gonna punish us. I am not a soccer ball. Wanna bet? Ah. You guys are gonna regret that. I'll be back. You're right. How about no? Hey, Decepticons. What? Hey, I think the soccer ball is back, guys. Ooh. Up for another round, little. What? How did you? Let's just say I got a good deal on eBay. I'm still not afraid of you. None of us are afraid, right? Did I mention you're really handsome? Oh no.